Hey everybody, it's Gail, and what I have going on today is all the parts of a jacket that I've been working on, and I wanted to show you all the parts before I sewed them together. So this jacket is from a 1980s pattern. This pattern is British, and I figured that out because down here you can see, there's a good line of it, you can see that we have these raised stitches that are worked at different heights. And these are called trebles in the pattern, but they are in fact double crochets. So this is UK terms. And you work this is a worsted weight yarn. This is Knit Picks Vividi, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, on a J hook, so a 6mm hook. And that's part of what lets you have these nice smooth, raised stitches. So this is the back and sides. You work from the bottom, and you work this detail, and then you work up in single crochet. This is a mostly single crochet project. And then you work the right hand arm and front here. And then you finish that off at the top with more of these raised stitches. And then you work the back piece, which on each end has raised stitches. And then you work the left armhole and left front piece, which, as you can see, has those raised stitches. Quick note on the pattern: when you're working the left armhole, it doesn't say this in the pattern precisely, but you will be working from back to front to make these raised stitches. So you will be coming from behind to do them, whereas all of the other stitches in this pattern are worked on the front of the work as you're going across. So it's easy to do, and a raised stitch and a post stitch are different. They're a little bit different. I'll get into that a little more after I show you the rest of things. Hi, Miss Bean. She's coming to investigate. But so this is the back and the sides. Gonna put that to the side. And what do I have next? Oh, okay. Yeah, this is the sleeve. I was hoping it was that. So you make two of these, and here's the whole sleeve. And this is, again, worked from the bottom edge all the way up to the top. And I made this in the size 18 to 20. And what you do for these sleeves is that you increase every set number of rows over time, and then you work even until you get the length of the sleeve before you start the top cap part. This table is not for you. Hi. And then you work the top cap part, which also has those raised stitches, and then the left and right sleeves are actually worked the same. Don't you dare. No, ma'am. Come on, down. Down. Good girl. All right. And then you actually, so the left and the right sleeve will work the same. And then finally we have, if I can find it, they're a little thin. There are, you work a long piece, you work two long pieces for the neckline. So these will attach to the front of the sides, and as you can see, if I can tilt it, you can see that you work this set of raised stitches for a while, and then you switch to just working in single crochet and adding stitches until you get to 18 stitches across, and then you work even until you get to whatever the measurement is for the jacket from the bottom of the jacket to the center of the back. And so you make two of those and you'll sew them together. And they're made basically the same. The right side and left side versions of it are written separately so that it's easier to know what should change. They don't really do that for the rest of the pattern, so it can be a little confusing. But, you're smart. I know you can figure it out. All right, there's the other neck piece. And then, like I said, sleeve, more sleeve, the big piece. So I have to go get all of this sewn together so I can show you the finished jacket. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be back in a bit. And it's done. It's actually been done for a couple of weeks, but filming is filming. So, as you can see, at least I hope so. I know that it's black, so it's harder to see. The fit's really good over my hips, which is always what I'm focusing on when I'm doing something like this. It actually does have enough. If I wanted to add a little button, I could. I'm not gonna, because it didn't call for a button. There was a belt that's on the pattern that isn't in the photo. So I was like, why would I use a belt? I want what's in the photo. So that was odd, but who cares? I have a great, it's a very classically cut sort of jacket. It is a little long in the arms. That is just a side effect of having to go up in size. As I was working on the arms, I thought to myself, I could measure my arms and then make sure that this is going to hit on the wrist properly. And then I didn't do that. But that's all right. Partly because I don't really care that much. The other thing is this yarn folds really easily. And yes, it does hide the ribbing detail that is part of what I like about this pattern. But it also keeps my cuff from going into my food if I'm wearing it out to eat. So, you make minor sacrifices. In person, the ribbing still really shows up well. It's a little harder to see on camera, but I did get it lined up really beautifully, and I'm very happy about that. And that is the one note I have about seaming, because you do want to line up these, the shoulder ribbing. If you can see it on this side, you might not be able to. So just be aware of how to do that. And I have put my notes about the pattern on the Vintage Pattern Errata page on my website, about how on one of the, was it the sleeve or the lapel? It was the sleeves. On one of the sleeves, you do have to work from the back, and the rest of the time you work the raised double crochets from the front. So I do have that note on the Vintage Pattern Errata. The other thing I do want to note, I don't remember what I said in the first part of the video. It's been a couple of weeks, so bear with me if I'm repeating myself. But the pattern doesn't do a great job of splitting things into rows correctly, in a way that just happens with patterns sometimes, where it's like, well, you're still going, so keep doing this. So just keep an eye out for that. I don't consider that to be an error, because as long as you're paying attention and reading closely, the work gets done. I did have to frog out once because of it. But that is a me problem. That is not it's technically a pattern problem, but the pattern's not incorrect when you actually work it correctly. So, it's a 601 situation. That's where we are. Anyway, yeah, I love this. It's great. I love that I made it in cotton. I wore it out to dinner, like literally right after I finished it. And it was very comfortable. We were only going from the car to the restaurant, and it was cold and wet. But, it did the job of having that extra layer, and then it looks real sharp. As you can see, I'm in a full sweatpants look here. And it's still, it looks good. It's a very classic piece. Big fan of it. I kind of want it in 6 different colors now, but I got plenty of other stuff to work on. I got plenty of other stuff to film. And that's just the first pile of stuff to film. So it's not like I don't have stuff to do. So as always, I will have a link to the pattern in some form down in the basement. If I can't find it from whoever I bought it from on Etsy, I will upload it to my website, icrochetedthething.com, to make it available for you. And I mentioned the Vintage Pattern Errata, and yeah, I think that's the whole kit this time. So as always, if you enjoy what I do here, please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, all of that fun stuff, and I will see you when I see you.